Okay, this is a season of Thanksgiving, and all over the world, people are giving thanks for
Yes.
different issues. That song
The,
says,
the,
God,
the
now
year is
God win,
coming
right?
to an end, yes. So you have to thank God for
If
being
it were
alive.
in the days of
Take
growing up in
stock.
the village, I don't know if you grew up in the village, I did. This is about the time when people are looking at harvest. It's time to bring in the harvest. What is it that you've worked all
Count
through?
your blessings.
They're beginning to count how many tubers of yam you're able to draw from your farm and all. Well, this organization has spent 12 years in place of service, and they think it is time to celebrate and count those 12 years and what God has been doing. And the founder of the organization is here today, Dr. Chris Okafor, who is the pastor, senior pastor of Mountain of Liberation and Miracle Ministries. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
12 years.
Yes.
How did this ministry, that otherwise called Liberation City, how did it come about?
Oh, Liberation City is not just another church. Liberation City is a supernatural movement. It's a mandate that God has given to me long time ago, but it's 12 years, obviously, and that's what we are celebrating. And tomorrow will be the Thanksgiving for the 12th anniversary. It's been awesome. It's not just a church in the sense God has used Liberation City to turn life, reach lives, and most especially the mandate God is given to me to reach 1 billion souls, which we have done traveling from nation to nations, from cities to cities, and God has been doing awesome things and bringing people to the kingdom of His dear Son Jesus, and we have seen lives transformed again and again, and it is the faithfulness of God.
How the number 12, what makes it significant to you?
You know, number 12 is special. Remember, Jesus has 12 disciples, and the year also, every year have 12 months, and it's important in the sense that God has been faithful and God has been doing a lot of great things, and if God have sustained us for these 12 years and He's been faithful, doing a lot of things and touching lives, we've seen countless of testimonies. We've seen different kind of people being transformed, rich in different, ways. And there is no better way to thank God than now, because God has really helped us. We've seen people coming from different parts of the world, joining us to celebrate what God is doing in Liberation Liberation City.
Yes, indeed. I was going to ask you, you host Liberation TV,
Yes,
which is a production that goes on like every weekend, every Sunday. Is it every day now?
No, every day, because
Okay.
Liberation TV is our own TV.
All right. Now, what I want to ask is, in this time that across the nation, there's need for enlightenment, for comfort, there's a need for redirecting, how do you say, orientation, reorientation to
Right.
change attitudes and all of that.
Right.
It's really significant, it's really important to have organizations that look towards helping the people to find the light. What's the Liberation City doing about it?
Yeah, that's why, like I said earlier, that God gave us mandate to reach 1 billion people. Adding 1 billion people to the kingdom of His dear Son Jesus. Now, doing this is not just about going to tell people about Jesus. Jesus came on earth. He had some specific things that He did. His mandate was clearly seen, setting the captive free and losing the yoke of wickedness. In John chapter 1, from verse 4, he said, from verse 1, he said, the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. And the only way, the way out of the problem that the people are going through right now is by experiencing the presence of God, the awesomeness of Jesus Christ, because there's so much darkness. And this is not just physical anymore, it's more spiritual. Because you see, for example, if it is the terrorism that is going on all over the world right now, the whole the world power, everyone is being attacked right now. But it seems that with everything they are doing, it's like this thing is not coming to an end. Because if you understand, if the world leaders come to understand this from the from the scriptural, from the spiritual perspective, they will know the foundation of how this battle came to be. That it's not only the soldiers, the world leaders that can fight the battle. If you read clearly in Genesis chapter 16, something happened from our grandfather and patriarch Abraham. There was an error that was committed in the sense that when Abraham's wife, that is Sarah, they were looking for children. And she thought in Genesis chapter 16 that God was not going to give us children anymore. Then something happened. He asked the husband to go lay with the housemaid. And when the husband lay with the housemaid in the person of Hagar, then when she discovered that she was pregnant, she started, misbehaving to the madam, the mistress of the house. Then something happened. The woman drove the mistress out after telling the husband, Abraham, you see, look at your husband, look at what she's doing to me. And Abraham said, no, you are in charge, and this housemaid is a housemaid. You can do to her whatever you deem fit. Then she left because the mistress began to maltreat her. Then the Bible said it happened that on her way she met an angel on the way who asked her to go back and told her, the child you are carrying is going to be a wild child, and his name shall be called Ishmael. If you read clearly, he said the hand of Ishmael is a wild person, will be a wild person in nature. And the hand of Ishmael will be against every man. So that's why terrorism today is not against only Christian and Muslim. They're also attacking. Just a few days ago, it was the Muslim that was on procession that we attacked, because his hand will be against every man. It's a prophetic declaration that was made. He will attack everybody, and everyone's hand will be against him. So it was a foundational error, and we have to correct it by the understanding of what the Spirit of God is saying.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, since you have related this to what is going on in terms of Boko Haram, and we look around the world, we find violence, we find all sorts of crises, here and there. Now, let's bring it back to Nigeria.
Yes.
People would say, it would seem like, oh, there's just so much devaluation of our culture, of the way we used to live that has brought us, good tidings in the past. So what do you think the church should be doing in this respect, in terms of preaching holiness and, the rightful way of living?
You see, holiness is good. The Bible said from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and it is the men of violence that take it by force. This violence entails that Christians should be in the forefront of this battle by going to God in prayer. The theme of our verse says that kingdom come. And the other day, the disciples of Jesus came to him, asked him, they said, Master, teach us how to pray. Just as we saw John the Baptist, the disciples of John the Baptist do. And they say, when you pray, you say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. What is the principles and the dynamics of the kingdom? Thy kingdom come. In the kingdom, there is no sickness. In the kingdom, there is no one broke. In the kingdom, there is no one that is afflicted. So until the church prays, because if there is a man to pray, there is a God to answer. Until the church pray and deploy the things that happens in the kingdom down to earth. Because in the kingdom, there is no violence. In the kingdom, there is no sickness. There is no oppression. Nobody is fighting anyone or at a dagger drawn with his or her neighbor. So we deploy the kingdom. That's the reason why we're traveling from one nation to the other. Like by next week, we will be in Abuja at the Eagle Square. We're going to be praying. We're going to be lifting up Nigeria in prayer. And people also are going to get delivered. Yokes of wickedness will be broken. So it is important. It is the church that will be at the forefront. Because in the days of the early church, it happened. The Bible said in the book of Acts of Apostles chapter 12, the Bible said they went after James. James was killed. Now this time around, because they succeeded in killing James, they also went after Paul. Now the Bible said when they put him in the prison, it was a day for him to be executed. But the Bible said the church prayed, Because the church prayed, there was a divine and angelic response. Because if there is a man to pray, there is a God to answer. They say, what happened to James will not happen to Peter. So because the church prayed, God responded. So if the church can pray, which is what one of the mandate God is giving to me, to pray, and things are going to happen, people are going to be turned, because we have seen it happen before. It is the same God yesterday, he is the same today, he is the same forever, he is not changed. That's why we are going to be leading the church of God. Thousands of people will be gathered together praying, because enough is enough. Things
That's
have
in
to
Abuja,
turn.
in Abuja
Yes.
next
Let's
week.
talk more
Abuja.
about the Abuja Crusade.
Yes.
When exactly is it going to happen? Where?
Yes, Abuja Crusade will be at the Eagle Square. It's starting on Thursday next week, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, through Sunday. But the anniversary will be concluding tomorrow here in Lagos. We'll see people traveling from different walks of life, from different parts of the world coming, and there have been so much testimonies about what God is doing.
Where do you hope to see Liberation City in the next 10 to 20 years?
Oh, in the next 10 to 20 years, Liberation City will definitely be all over the world, liberating soul, touching life. You see, Liberation City is unique in many ways, because right now, Liberation TV as a church, we have a lot of branches in different parts of the world. Liberation City, we also have our Liberation TV, and Liberation TV also have Liberation City also have its own foundation that takes care of the less privileged. We'll go to different parts that takes care of widows. We do this every month, week in, week out. So we'll believe in God that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, Liberation City will touch more lives, not only in the Christendom or in the not, but in the politics. Because politics is a serious thing to leave, just to leave it alone in the hands of politicians.
So who can
pray.
attend this Thanksgiving and the Crusade in Abuja? Who and who?
No, the Abuja is not the Thanksgiving. The Abuja is the
I know. I said the
conference.
Thanksgiving in Lagos,
Yes,
and then
Lagos.
the Crusade in Abuja.
Yes.
Who are you
No,
expecting?
everybody. We are inviting you wherever you are watching right now. Now in Lagos, we started last Sunday, and we are rounding up tomorrow. Now the address is number 9 Oshofistan Street, Ojodu bus stop, Ereke Quarter, Ojodu bus stop. You can join us wherever you're hearing the sound of my voice. God will be reaching you. Things will be happening. You'll be believing God to touch you. It doesn't matter what you've labored for. Some of you said you've struggled for the past 11 months without having nothing to show. But God has promised us that it's going to be last minute visitation. God has been visiting his people. We've seen lots of testimonies, miracles, practical deliverance of God's hand. So you don't want to miss it. We're looking forward to see you tomorrow. Join us tomorrow from 8 a.m. dot in Liberation City International Headquarters, and God will be changing your life for good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We wish you a wonderful 12th anniversary, and we're looking forward to the 15th and the 20th and the many more years to come.
Of course. And we're going to be inviting you to be part of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Yes,
We've
indeed.
been speaking with the founder, Mountain of Liberation and Miracles Ministries, Dr. Chris Okafor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We'll be back shortly for the home stretch. Don't go away.